Hi everyone. As part of this problem, we have the input table, words table. This table has word ID and word columns, wherein we have lot of words that are present. As part of the output, we need to determine if the word is a palindrome or not. So what is a palindrome? So a palindrome is a word which when you will compare by reversing it, it will give you the exact word. So for example, for this word madam, if you compare the first and last word, it will be same. The next word and the second last word is same. So this way, if you compare, you will get the exactly same word. So if you compare from the forward direction and the backward direction, the word should exactly match. Something which will not happen with a word like hello. So H and O is not matching. So there itself, it's not a palindrome. So we are going to solve this problem using two approaches. One is a very simple approach, and second one is kind of we will use looping to solve this problem. So what is the most simplest approach to solve the palindrome problem? So that we will discuss now. So the approach one is very simple. What we will do is in this words table, we will get all the columns, and what we will do is we will compare this word with reverse of the word. So if it is matching, then yes, it's a palindrome. Otherwise, it's not a palindrome. So this is palindrome column. So this can be the most simplest solution to this problem. Let's run and see the output. So as we can see, we have determined that for a particular word, whether it is a palindrome or not, by simply comparing the word with its reverse case. So this is the forward direction and this is the reverse direction. So that way we can easily determine whether the word is palindrome or not. So in the second approach, we are going to use recursive CTE, and this is going to be little tricky. I mean, it will not be straightforward like we saw here. So this is a little different approach wherein we are going to use recursive CTE to solve this problem. And the concept remains same. What we are going to do is we are going to compare the word. In one side we will do from the forward side, and one side we will have the backward characters. So forward and backward characters, we will keep on comparing to check if it is matching or not. So that is the approach we are going to take. So what we will do is let's move it into a new tab, and here we will specify the approach 2 using the recursive CTE. Okay, so now what we will do is we will work on this input table, that is the words table. Okay, so what we will do is we will start with a very base condition. So we will take this column word, ID and word, and we will define two indexes. One we will call as the start index, which we will say that it is starting from 1. And the second one will be our end index, and that will be till the length of this word. So this will be the end index. So these are the two columns that we have defined here. Okay, start index and end index. Along with this, we will also have one more column that will be kind of the matching check. So let's call it as is matching. So once we proceed ahead, we will come to know what this flag means. So this is the data that we will start with. This is our base condition from the table. Okay, so let's call this as CTE itself, the recursive CTE that we are building. So what we have done is we have basically defined the base condition. We simply have taken the data as it is and have added a new column that is start index with value 1 and added a end index with value as length of this word. Now what we need to do is we need to iterate through the word, one from the forward direction and second from the backward direction, and do the comparison of the characters. So that is what we are going to do now. So what we will do is we will keep this word ID and word as it is. We will start incrementing the index going forward. Okay, so it should increment by 1. So this will be our start index, and our end index will keep decrementing by 1. So it will move in the backward direction. So this is the end index. And now talking about this is matching. So here is the main logic. We are going to compare the word from the forward direction. that we can get using the substring function. So we will pass the word and take the word from the position starting index, comma 1. So this will get one character from the start index position. And similarly, we will compare it with the one character of the word from the end index position. Okay. So this is the comparison that we will do. And if it is matching, we will say, yes, it is a match, else it is a 0, that it's not a match. And this we will call it as is matching. So this we will have a recursive call. And when our call will end is, as long as our starting index is below the end index, we will keep on going through this CTE. So basically, in the beginning, the start index points to value 1. So we will take the very first character. Okay. So this parameter, which is the second parameter, this says that get me only one character from the start index position. Similarly, here it says that get me only one character from the end index position. So it will get one character. For example, this will take the first M here and this will take the last M here. So both will match. So this will indicate, yes, it is matching. If it was the word hello, here it would have been word H and here it would have been word O. So it would have shown that it is a 0, that it is not matching. So this way it will keep on working, like the start index will keep moving in the forward direction. So the next word will be A in the madam and A as well in the end index value as well, because it has moved one step backward. So A and A will be compared. In case of hello, E and L will be compared. So again, that is a failure. So in case of hello, it will show the value as 0. So like this, word to word comparison will happen, and based on whether the comparison is successful, like it is matching, it will have value 1, or if it is a failure, that it is not matching, it will have value as 0. So let's see the value of the CTE. Once it does all the comparison, how does the value look like? What we will do is we will order it based on the word ID so that we can see the data correctly. Okay, so let's run and see the output. Okay, so there is a issue here. It should be INX. Okay, so now we have the comparison being done. So here, if we see, if all the comparisons are matching, it means that that is a palindrome. For the words where the comparisons are not matching, it means that it is not a palindrome. That means one of the comparison has failed, which indicates that it is not a palindrome. So using this criteria to determine that for a particular word, is that all the entries is having 1, through that we can determine whether it is a palindrome or not. So what we can do is we can try to take the minimum value of this is matching for that particular word. So the minimum should come as 1, because if there is any mismatch, there will be value 0. So if we get 0, it means it's not a palindrome. So we should get minimum value as 1 if we are doing a aggregation on this word. So that is what we are going to use. So we will have the word ID, word, and we are going to check, okay, or let's see the data here itself. Let's get the minimum of this is matching. And let's call it as mean flag for now. And let's run and see the output. We need to group by, need to perform the aggregation as well on this word ID and word, as we have done the aggregation of mean. So let's run and see the output. There is an issue here. Okay, start index is invalid in order by clause. Okay, so we have removed the column. So let's remove it from here as well. Okay, so now we have the flag here. So as we can see, wherever all the entries were matching, okay, in that case, we will have the minimum value as 1, because all the entries are 1. So minimum also will be 1. But for any word, if any entry has mismatch, so minimum value will be identified as 0. So by doing this check, whether the minimum flag is 1, we can confirm it's a palindrome. So that is what we are going to do here. We are going to check if this minimum value is 1. Then yes, it's a palindrome. else it's not a palindrome. And then let's call this as is palindrome column. Okay, so let's run and see the output. Okay, we have to give the end keyword. Okay, so we have executed the query. Let's see the output. So as we can see, we have identified the final result. Okay, we have identified whether for a given input it is a palindrome or not. So let's quickly summarize how we have solved this problem. What is the approach we have taken and solved it? So basically, we know that there are two approaches which we can take. One is the most simplest approach, that we can reverse this word and check whether it is matching or not. If that is the case, we can simply say that it's a palindrome if it is matching. The other approach we took is using the recursive CTE, solving it more, say, programmatically or in the loop way. Okay. So what we have done here is, for every word, we have taken a starting index and ending index, with the starting value for starting index being 1 and for ending index it being length of that word. And then we have taken a flag that is matching to determine whether the comparison that we are going to do, it's a match or not. After that, what we are doing is we are keeping on incrementing this starting index and decrementing this ending index. And we are going to compare one character from the starting index, one character from the ending index, if both the characters are matching. If they are matching, we will indicate it as 1. Otherwise, we will indicate it as 0. And this we will populate in the is matching flag. So after this loop runs, how long we will run? We will run as long as the starting index is less than ending index. So after this is executed, what we will do is we will find out for a particular word what is the minimum value for the is matching flag. If the minimum value is 1, it means that all the entries were 1. So all the checks were matching. So we'll call this as it's a palindrome. We will say a value as yes for this. But if the minimum value is other than 1, it means that there is at least one entry or one check whether there was a failure in the comparison. So in that case, we will say that it's not a palindrome. So this way we have solved the problem. So please go through the video. If you found it useful, please like it. If you have not yet subscribed the channel, please subscribe,
comment,
and please provide your feedback in the comments. Thank you.